Alright, hello friends. Good morning. My name is Okichuku Joshua Utazi, and today we're going to be talking about cell locking. We've talked about several other paste options in our previous videos, and so today we are going to delve into something a little bit more complex called cell locking. Now, we got this data set from this particular table that was gotten from PwC. Alright, so we're able to rearrange the data and then get some spreadsheet that we can use for our cell locking option. Alright, so friends, the first thing I'm going to let you know is that cell locking is very much important when it comes to data analysis in Excel. Alright, you need to understand how to lock cells if you are going to actually solve problems using Excel. Alright, because cell locking can be used to dynamically carry out arithmetics. Alright, so friends, in this particular example right now, if you look at our question 1 in the cell locking option, it says we should use cell locking and set the target revenue to grow by 5% every month. Now, in our data set over here, we have the year 2012 ending with this particular quantity being sold. All right, this particular quantity being sold. All right, so friends, in 2013, we are for every month, the end of every month, we are expected to have this particular quantity being sold, and then given this particular price, we want to set the target of our revenue to grow by 5% throughout the various months of 2013. Right, so we want this particular value to be increased by 5% by the end of January, and then once by end of February, we should also have increased our revenue by 5%. By the end of March, we should have increased our revenue by 5%, and continuing that way to the 8th month. All right, so friends, that's basically what we want to do. We want to set our target revenue to grow by 5%. All right, friends, the way we do this actually in Excel, I'm just going to double tap into this cell where I want to put my value, and I'm going to click on equal to. All right, you know the growth rate formula. The growth rate formula states that it is 1 added by 5%, that is the growth rate, and then multiplied by the previous value. All right, so I'm just going to open my bracket, and I'm going to say 1 added by the growth rate, and I'm going to close my bracket, and I'm going to be multiplying this by the previous value. All right, so for example, if I click on enter over here, all right, now you can see that I'm getting the right value for the month of January 2013. All right, so friends, this is the right value. But then if I want to get the remaining values, you know how we do this. I'm just going to come over to this particular cell and then come over to the bottom right where I see a cross sign, and I'm going to left click and then drag down to the end. And now friends, you can see as I drag down to the end, I'm not getting the right values. The same values keeps getting printed out as we drag down to the end. Now, why is this? All right, so friends, I'm going to explain to you why this is happening. Now, if I click on this particular cell here, the third cell, and now look at what's going on over here. Excel is trying to multiply. As I drag down to the last cell, Excel is also pulling the formula down. It's also pulling the cells down. All right. Now, the reason is this particular cell over here where I wrote the first formula is multiplying 2 cells above it. In other words, it is multiplying this particular cell L5, and all right, and then it is L5 by N5. It is making reference to L5 and then N5. In other words, we have N5 over here, which is this, and then it's making reference also to L5, which is also this. All right, so that's basically what that particular cell where I wrote the first formula was doing. Let me just quickly do this. That's what it was doing. All right, so friends, if I drag down to the end, now what happens is that the same values get printed. The reason is this other cell also is going to make reference to this cell and then this other cell. And now if you look over here, there is nothing. Let me just show you this. Now there is no value over here. There's no value over here, and then if there's no value over here, this becomes 0, and if this is 0, then this becomes 0 also. 1 plus 0 is going to give us 1. Then 1 multiplied by L6 is going to give us the same value that was printed previously. All right, so friends, basically in Excel, as we drag down, the formulas also pulls down as we move down. Now look at this other cell over here. It's trying to multiply what doesn't exist. There is no value over here. There is no value over here. All right, so it's not going to give us the right value. If I come over here, the last cell, you can see it's trying to multiply something above it that doesn't exist. There is no value over here. So it's going to keep giving us the same values. And this is not what we really want to do. All right, we want our revenue to grow by 5% every month. We can't do manual calculations. All right, so what we want to do right now is to use cell locking to make references. All right, I'm going to show you something real quick on how you can do this. I'm just going to Ctrl Z. All right, so friends, I'm going to open up this formula right now. What I really want is that as I drag down from this cell down to the end, I want this same value, this cell, to keep making reference to this particular 5%. In other words, I don't want this N5 to change, but I want L5 to keep changing, maybe to L6, to L7, to L8, down till we reach the end. But this particular N5, I want this formula to keep making reference to 5%. In other words, keep growing it by 5%, keep growing it by 5%, even as I drag down through the months. All right, so friends, that's basically what I want to do. So the best way we do this is to lock the cell. Now, in cell locking, we can lock a cell column-wise, we can lock a cell row-wise, or we can lock the entire cell. All right, so friends, what I'm going to do right now is to lock the entire cell. All right, so if I come over to this section where I have N5, I'm just going to click on this. All right, so the first thing I can do is, if I put a dollar sign at the back of N, I lock the colon. In other words, if I put a dollar sign over here at the back of N, I've locked this colon. If I put a dollar sign at the back of 5, I've locked the row. All right, but if I put a dollar sign at the back of both N and 5, I've locked both the row and the colon. All right, so friends, this is how we do this. I'm going to put a dollar sign right now at the back of the both. All right, a shortcut, just to make life very easy, a shortcut we use is to hold your function key, then press F4. All right, that will give you a dollar sign at the back of both N and 5. If I still hold my function key and press F4 again, it will give me a dollar sign at the back of 5, telling me I've locked just the row and not the colon. If I hold my function key and press F4, I see a dollar sign at the back of N. It's telling me I've locked the colon, but I have not locked the row. If I hold my function key and press F4 again, I'm not locking anything. All right, so friends, that's basically how it works. Now, if I hold my function key and press F4 again, I'm locking both the colon and the row. All right, so friends, right now that's what I really want to do. In other words, what it's telling me is that when I lock the colon and the row, I have locked this particular cell entirely. This cell doesn't change as I drag down through the formula. All right, so right now I'm going to press on Enter. All right, so now I'm getting the right value. Now, if I pull down from this cell, now if I come over to this particular cell, at the bottom right, I'll see a cross sign. I'm just going to left click, hold it, and drag down to the end. Now, as I drag down to the end, you can see that I'm getting the right values right now. Now, my revenue, my target revenue is growing by 5% every month. Now, friends, what this lets me know exactly is this. I'm just going to explain this. Now, if I click on this, you can see that it is making reference to this particular N5. N5 doesn't change in this formula. Now, I'm going to click on another cell. Let's click on the last cell. All right, see, it's making reference to N5. N5 doesn't change. But in the previous example we did, this cell, as we click on this, all right, we were making reference to a cell here that doesn't exist, a value over there that was not in existence. All right, so right now, with the cell locking, we are making reference to a particular cell. We want you to keep replicating this cell in the formulas, even as we drag down the formulas. And so, friends, that's basically how we use the cell locking to carry out operations in Excel. All right, so friends, I just locked both the colon and the row, and then I used it to increase my value by 5%. All right, so another way I could have done this, just to show you, now this is not cell locking. I don't mean to get you confused, but then just to show you, this could help to explain to you what Excel is doing using cell locking. Now, another way I could have done this is this. I'm just going to quickly show you something real quick. All right, friends, so let me just delete this that we've done. Now, we've gotten the right answers. Don't mind me, this is how we use cell locking. All right, so but right now I want to show you something else. I'm going to just highlight all of this, and then I'm going to delete this. All right, so first, this particular cell here, these are our right values. Now I'm going to remove the cell locking. I'm going to hold my function key, press F4 multiple times until I don't see any dollar sign, and then I'm going to press on Enter. All right, right now you can see these cells are not locked. The N5 is not locked anymore. N5 is not locked anymore. All right, so friends, right now what I'm going to do right now is show you, if I drag this down to the end. Now look at this cell over here. It's trying to multiply an empty cell. It's trying to add 1 to an empty cell which doesn't exist, and so it's not going to work. The formula is not going to work because there's no value over here, and so it's going to give us the same value, 2999. All right, so that's basically a failed operation. In this case, we are not getting the right value. But then as I locked the cell, as I clicked over here in the previous example we did, this cell was making reference to this section over here, not an empty cell. All right, so friends, but what other way could we have done this formula without using cell locking to get the same values of 5% of revenue growing by 5% every month? Now, one other way we could have done this is, let me just show you this. I'm going to click on the growth rate, come over to the bottom right of this particular cell, drag it down to the end. Now, when I drag this down to the end, what happens is that every cell here becomes 5%. And if every cell here becomes 5%, it doesn't matter if it's not making reference to the first 5%, it is also making reference to a value called 5%. So if I click over here, all right, you can see this particular value over here is trying to add to 5%, and it's getting a value over here. So 5% is being added to 1 and then multiplied by the previous value, and so it is giving us the same answer that we could have gotten using cell locking. All right, so friends, that's basically how we use cell locking to get our right values for analysis, to solve complex business problem in Excel.